4 inmates escaped during Indonesian prison riot. By the time a riot at a prison in Jambi on the Indonesian island of Sumatra on March 1st had been brought under control, 6 guards and 6 prisoners were wounded, and 4 prisoners were missing. The mayhem began when inmates protested a drug raid. At around 7 p.m., prisoners gathered in front of guards to protest the inspection. But as the night wore on, the protest became a full-blown riot, with inmates starting a fire in the cafeteria. Somehow, a number of inmates managed to tear barbed wire from a fence. They then attacked guards with the barbed wire and rocks. At 10 p.m., police reinforcements arrived to crush the unrest. Nearby residents reported hearing dozens of gunshots. The 4 inmates who escaped are still on the run, Indonesian media reports say. Say no to safe spaces on YouTube. Support TomoNews at patreon.com/TomoNews. Keep watching for more stories about folks who ain't so happy to be in prison.
Surveillance cameras capture Mexican prison riot that killed 49. New footage from the February 11th prison riot in Monterrey, Mexico shows the moment 2 rival gang factions started fighting. Surveillance cameras captured a large number of prisoners in the courtyard of the prison at 10:48 p.m. Prison guards took shelter in one building as a large group of the Zeta-27 drug gang attacked a cell block housing a rival gang leader, causing a melee. Prisoners could also be seen setting fire to the food storage area and cell block. The blaze created was visible from outside the prison. On the other side of the prison, fighting continued. Prisoners reportedly used bottles and blades during the riot. No guns were involved. They set up barricades and used mattresses to shield themselves. Then, setting the mattresses on fire, the prisoners created flaming barricades that lit up the dark sky. Fighting continued through the night until about 1:30 a.m. when police were able to subdue the prisoners.
5 inmates injured in Supermax jail fight. 5 inmates were injured during a massive fight at Cook County Jail in Illinois. Officials say the fight happened Friday at around 1:30 p.m. in the jail's Supermax division. The mayhem begins when an inmate standing near the center of the room punches another in the back of the head. Another inmate is struck, causing his head to bounce off a cement pillar. Out cold, he remains on the floor until someone pulls him away. Nearly 30 men in the general population room are in the thick of it, but some clearly don't want to be involved and stay close to the walls. Guards eventually get things under control. Several weapons were recovered, including 2 that appear to have been made from asthma inhaler parts. Officials are now investigating how the inmates got or made the weapons. Jail spokeswoman Cara Smith said 5 inmates were taken to hospital to be treated for injuries including stab wounds, but none of the injuries were life-threatening. 4 of the 5 inmates were in jail on murder charges, while the 5th person was charged with armed robbery.
Hundreds of prisoners, including Al-Qaeda militants, escaped Abu Ghraib prison during a violent prison breakout on Sunday night. Suicide bombers drove cars packed with explosives into the gates of the prison, before gunmen attacked with mortars and rocket-propelled grenades. Meanwhile, militants positioned themselves on the main road and fought off security reinforcements. Militants wearing suicide vests then entered the compound and helped free the inmates. 10 policemen and 4 terrorists were killed in the assault, which reports say helped more than 500 prisoners escape, including some of Al-Qaeda's most senior members.
Afghan Taliban storm jail and release over 350 inmates. Taliban insurgents attacked a jail in central Afghanistan early Monday morning, freeing hundreds of prisoners. Taliban fighters attacked the front gate of the prison in Ghazni around 2 a.m. with a car bomb. The fighters, who were dressed in Afghan security uniforms and wore suicide vests, also fired rocket-propelled grenades. The prison did not have heavy security because it was considered sufficiently close to Ghazni's town center for reinforcements to arrive quickly. The attackers freed more than 350 prisoners. Of these, officials said 148 were prisoners who were a threat to national security. The fighters also mined the roads leading to the prison, and an Afghan army vehicle headed to the prison was struck by a roadside bomb. 7 Taliban and 4 members of the Afghan security forces were killed in the attack. 7 police were injured.